Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Live. I'm all pumped up and ready to go. My wife fixes this for me every morning. She says it's good. It's kind of like a mixture of lemon juice and vinegar. And the first sip always takes my breath away. And this with a couple of cups of coffee, I spend my mornings writing and peeing. But anyway, let's get right to our Tolle quote for the day. This is, I hope you stay with me on this, because this is really an important point or approach to the eternal suffering or eternal question of why do I suffer? Is there an end to this pain? Is there an end to suffering? Why me? Why this suffering? And suffering now is a very general term. In Buddhism it's called dukkha. And it means all negativity, irritation, greed, anger, all the negativity that makes us hurt. It also means separation. Separation is suffering. And this is really the primary meaning of dukkha, the separation of suffering. So let's look at a Tolle quote and see if we can pull this cotton ball apart. The Tolle quote for today: pay attention to your pain. Keep feeling the grief, the fear, the dread, the loneliness, whatever it is. Stay alert, stay present with your whole being, with every cell of your body. As you do so, you are bringing light into the darkness. This is the flame of your consciousness. Now that's very interesting, because what the image here is that your light of consciousness or liberation, your freedom from pain, is created by feeding the wood of pain into your awareness. So if you feed your pain into your awareness, this flame of consciousness, it grows brighter. Isn't that an interesting image? Let's take a look. So I wrote up here this morning, accept the pain as if you chose it. Now that's interesting. Why would I choose pain? Am I a masochist? You see, that's kind of like a pathology of this. So we're not talking about a pathology where you self-inflict pain. That's kind of like a metaphor for this spiritual teaching. See, all spiritual teachings are reproduced as pathologies in the physical world. So if I'm stabbing myself, cutting myself, inflicting pain on myself, getting covered with tattoos as pain, hurting myself, you see, I'm actually doing this particular teaching in the physical world instead of in the internal world. You see, the spiritual teachings are for the internal world. And because we live in an external material world, we do these spiritual teachings in the only world we know, which is the external objective world. So we're doing the spiritual teachings in a misplaced way. You see? Isn't that interesting? So everywhere is spiritual teachings in the wrong place, in the physical world. Now why is it? All right, let's take a look at this. I hope you could stay, because I'm really kind of like uncovering this as we go here. But the physical world, the objective world of its, which includes me as an it, if somebody says, who are you? You're going to list what you do, your values, your physical appearance, your roles. I'm a husband, I'm a, so forth. All these things are all objective definitions, or it, third person world. But that's not who you are. Who am I? Well, after you go through all the its, you discover that that's not it. I'm not just this, I'm just that. So I am the seer of all the its that I define myself with, you see. But the seer cannot be defined. So it's the seer, the self, that we need to deal with in order to understand this teaching. But first, let's look at basically, when we have pain, somebody says something, somebody hurts me, a friend sabotages me, I'm disappointed, expectations ruined, plans fall apart, we say, I hurt. So I hurt is a subjective. It's not an objective statement. I hurt. I'm hurting here. I'm hurting here. Don't you see that? I'm hurting. You see, that's the subjective. I. So when I hurt, the next statement is who did it or what did it. And that's going to be either external or internal, objectively. It's going to be you did it, the world did it, the situation did it, chance did it, fate did it, or I did it. Somebody did it, external or internal. Something or somebody did it. Now the next step, you see, boom, I hurt, who did it? The next step automatically comes, well, remove the cause and you remove the effect. That works in the external world. You got a car. It's got to hurt. Something's wrong with it. You find out what's wrong with it and you fix it. And the car no longer hurts. You see, it's very logical and it works in the external world with machines. But when it comes to life, and you're not a machine, this logic doesn't work. But this is the only logic we know, because we live in an objective world that has no interior. And the laws of the interior are different from the laws of the exterior. But since everything is exterior in our world, we only apply the laws of the external world to fix the internal world. And that's like turning the wrench the wrong way. Instead of loosening the nut of pain, I'm tightening it. Now see, Buddha calls the external world the world of samsara, and the internal world the world of nirvana. So let's take a look at this. I hurt, who did it? So I'm going to look for the cause. I'm going to look for the cause in time. In other words, I want to remove, if I'm looking for the cause, I got to remove the cause in time. So there's the cause, he did it. I've got to do something to, in time, in a few minutes, tomorrow, in a second, something in time, I've got to do something in order to bring justice and restore my world to zero, which is no pain. So I either got to do something to him to balance the pain. I'll give him as much pain as I got. Or I got to get him to confess and say he's sorry. That will help a little bit. Or make sure he'll never do it again. Or, so the different strategies we have when we put the wrench to some cause, you see. But the fault in this, first of all, is here. I hurt. Now, as soon as you say, I hurt, you've become a victim. I'm the victim of something that's made me hurt. And the second thing that happens here is that you are identifying with the pain. I hurt, I have a pain. And once you say, I have a pain, the next step that follows is there's a cause to it. You see, once the I identifies with an object, which is a feeling, now you're in the realm of cause and effect. The laws kick in of the external world. So as soon as your I, becomes an object, the pain, a feeling, I have a feeling, I got this thing. I got this thorn. I got this cactus. Now I'm holding this cactus and I'm bleeding. I'm hanging on this cross. Who did it? You see. That's the next step. It has to follow there. Once you say I hurt, we got to find the cause. Who did it? So if somebody out there didn't do it, then I did it. So now I'm blaming myself, you see. Oh, you hurt, you see. And so there's no end to this. Why can't you remove it? Why doesn't that work? Because it's you are applying the laws of an intern. You are using the laws of the external world to fix an internal situation. So let's look at. Now let's go back up here. Accept the pain. Now Tolle says. Let's go back to Tolle. Keep feeling the pain, the grief, the dread, the loneliness, whatever it is. Keep feeling it. Keep feeling it means, basically, you don't run away from it. So the switch here from the external removal of pain to the internal removal of pain is that instead of saying I hurt, because then you can't sit with it. You can't sit with it when I say I hurt, oh my God, I hurt, I got to get rid of this thing. If you got to get rid of it, you can't sit with it. You see the difference? If you got to get rid of it, you don't want to keep feeling it. I want to get rid of it. I want to stop feeling it. And I want to stop feeling it by getting rid of what's causing me to feel it. Now this is interesting too, is that if I've got my hand on a hot plate, now you know these, my mother used to have one of these stoves with the burners that you can't see, and I always wondered, geez, what happens if you put your hand on it? So suppose you go in and you put your hand down on a stove and suddenly something's burning. Oh! So you don't keep your hand on it and say, what's causing this pain? Oh, it's this damn stove's causing the pain. Should I take my hand off? Or wait a minute, what kind of stove is that? No, when you see it, you take it off. The seeing is action when you see the cause of the pain. I hope I'm not getting this confused, but okay. So we've got two approaches here. The normal, when we approach our pain in the laws of objects, the external world, which in our culture is the only world. I hurt, who did it, cause, get rid of what caused it, get rid of the effect. See, the cause and effect. The cause is that person, the effect is my pain. Do something to the cause, gets rid of my pain. That's logical. Get rid of the thorns causing me pain. Get rid of the thorn, get rid of the pain. The effect is the pain. The cause is the thorn. But what if we do to go to Tolle's teaching? Pay attention to your pain. Keep feeling the grief, the fear, the dread, the loneliness. Whatever it is, stay alert and stay present with your whole being, with every cell of your body. So he's saying there, stay present with the pain, which requires a shift. The shift is from I hurt to the pain. Now, in this level here, in the victim mind, what's important is I hurt. I'm hurting, damn it, I'm hurting. But the shift here is not I hurt, but there is pain. There is pain. You see how the shift is instead of I hurt, here, like here's the pain. I hurt. This pain is this. I hurt. You see. But if I make the shift away from I as an object, you see, in this sentence here, when I say I hurt, that's I am an object that hurts. So I have put myself into the field of objects. I hurt as an object. But when I make the shift, the Tolle shift or the Dharma shift, I don't want to just give this credit to Tolle. This is Buddha Dharma or any non-dual tradition. There is pain. Now what that means is that suddenly what's interesting to me is the feeling of the pain. I don't say I hurt. Hurt is a value, you see, of me. It's about hurt. It's about me. There is pain. There is the feeling of pain, and it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling when you look at it as a feeling. So you become curious of it. Where is it? Is it here? Where is this pain? I'm be curious about it. So that's what staying present with your whole being, because your whole being is body-mind. If you're not present with it, you're just with it during the mind. And also notice here that the feeling of pain is the body. But if I just deal with this feeling in the realm of the mind, I have created myself as me in a story, and when I hurt, I take the pain, the feeling, and I attach it to a story or thought. And this is the past. Okay, so let's see. Just stay with me here. I have somebody, a friend of mine. Let's say a friend of yours hurts you, does something that hurts you. I hurt. All right. So immediately now the cause of the pain is in the past. As soon as you have the pain, who did it? Okay, so my friend did it. Okay, so I'm in time now. I put this pain in the realm of time because somebody did it. Now that's in the past, and I got to get rid of it, fix it, get an apology, justice in the future. The pain is in the past. I got to get rid of it in the future. I'm in time. But the actual feeling is in the body, and the feeling is not in time. The feeling is not a thought. The feeling is not an idea. The feeling is living. When you have a feeling, it's living. It's now. It's your body. And your body is the whole cosmos. So this body is much bigger than this bag of skin. You see, the body now has this feeling. And what do? But I connect the feeling to a thought about who did it in time. So the feeling now is attached to time, and its cause now is in whenever I see the person who hurt me, the feeling comes up, the pain that was stored in my storehouse, connected to that person who caused my pain. So he may be not even remember causing me pain, and he comes down the road and I feel the pain again. That son of a bitch. And he says, what's wrong with you? Remember when you did that? Well, oh, I'm sorry. I was, I didn't know. You still, So we attach the pain to a story and then try to get rid of it in the story, in the future. The feeling was never the pain. It's like the pain was we caught it and put it in our mind. We caught it in thought and put it in there. So we're holding it, you see, in the mind. And the Buddha teaching says, there is the cause of suffering. Separation from your body. See, the feeling's in the body, and we connect it to our story of pain. Why does this happen to me? And that's disconnecting from the body. So if we reconnect to the body, if we reconnect to our being, a body is our being, body, being. If we reconnect to our being, it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. And then I meditate with that, I sit with that. And when I say, there is pain, isn't that interesting? I want to look at this. I accept it. You can't look at something you don't accept. So when you accept something, it's like you choose it. When you accept something, you choose it. When you welcome something, you choose it. When you accept something, you choose it. It's not like you have to choose. It's just the same thing. So, when you accept something as just being here, there's no cause. It's just this. There's no cause to it. So right away you have cut the feeling from the projected cause. He did it. Oh, well, maybe he didn't do it. Maybe that guy did it. Somebody did it, you see. So if you disconnect the tether to the story of who did it, all you have left is just this feeling of pain. A feeling. Just a feeling, you see. And there's no cause to it. As soon as I give a cause to it, I'm in time, in the mind, you see. So there's no cause. And guess what? If there's no cause, there's no effect. And that's the teaching of the Buddha. In the Four Noble Truths, the first truth is there is suffering. Okay? There is pain. This is an internal teaching here, not an external. Like there is pain. No. There is pain. There is suffering. Second truth is there is no external cause to it. There it is. It's just that. And then the third thing, is if there is no cause, there's no effect, which is the suffering of separation from our body. So the suffering that continues, the karmic suffering, is our own separation from the body and living entirely in mind, thought, and time. So when we reconnect with the body and with our pain, and just accept the pain as being what is, As you do so, you're bringing light into this darkness. So what is the darkness but the separation of you from your own body? This is the flame of your consciousness. So when you reconnect with your pain by, and again, this is not, oh, I got to suffer. No. It just means that when there is pain, you pause, you don't immediately connect it to the cause, and you shift your focus to your interest in the feeling. In that way, the feeling in the body is allowed to change, because all is impermanent, all is change. So if you don't hold the pain by connecting it to an external cause, a story, a grievance, a victim, you see, if you don't make that connection, the feeling passes because you're not holding it. And then you can respond to the situation creatively instead of reactively, you see. So it's this disconnection from the shift from I hurt to there is pain that radically changes the way you deal with the world. Because from this view, it's a reaction. Who did it? I'm reacting to this cause, you see. Here, there's no reaction. There's just acceptance and being with the feeling as a feeling, and that allows a creative response to the situation. But you have to do this, try it, in order to see if it works. You have to take the medicine and not just read the label. You have to eat the meal and not just read the menu. So you need to do this in little places, easy things, everyday mind things. Well, say, I'm going to try this. So you look for the next time you get hurt. The next time your wife or your husband makes some demand on you that irritates you. You're sitting there, you're doing your thing, and the wife or the husband says, hey, come here and do this. And you say, what? This is my time. This is my space. That's pain. You feel it and you blame it on the spouse. Or the telemarketer. There's a good one, telemarketer. I have this irritation, I blame it on the telemarketer. Right there, you can practice with that. This is a practice. So the practice there would be to, oh, here's an opportunity to practice. Let me just disconnect the cause, the telemarketer, from the irritation. What happens? Well, I think that's a good way to practice, because telemarketers are all like flies. And if you look at these people in third world countries, Sudan or someplace, got flies everywhere. But you don't see them swatting flies. They're all over. You just live with it. I mean, it's not like something you want to do, but I mean, the point is, we kind of like marvel at that. There's kind of like an acceptance of the flies. They don't notice them. Why? So I have tinnitus ringing in my ears. I never noticed it until right now. When I just said tinnitus, I notice it. But I accept it. I accept it. I don't go, oh, God damn, they're ringing. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And I go to the doctor. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. When I do that, you see, I'm saying, I hurt. Get rid of it. If I accept it, I don't hurt. I mean, if I could fix it, I'd fix it. But since I can't fix it, I don't hurt. You see. So, anyway, I'm trying to point out the shift here in this teaching, that if you understand it from this point of view, from the world of objects, it makes absolutely no sense at all. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. You see. And that's because we view these subjective teachings from an objective point of view, which in our culture is the only view. You see. And you just notice what's going on. Aren't you outraged? Are you just going to sit there and let that person hurt you? Or are you just going to sit there and do nothing? You see, there's tremendous pressure to attack, to retaliate, to seek justice, revenge, forgiveness, you see, on the external causes of our pain. And that's basically a continued life of being the victim. So there's no victim here. There's a victim here, you see. So anyway, thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you this evening at Martini time.